1989. According to Bob Dylan, you got to serve somebody. Well, serving heals the soul, that's for sure. My name is Frank Sontag. It's time for the Impact program. Impact is the in-studio guest format where we talk a wide variety of topics. And tonight I'm really excited. It's been exactly, to the date, 6 months since I had on the man I have in studio right here. He belongs to an organization called the Frontline Foundation, and I'd like to bring on board Ray Castellani. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Frank.
Pleasure to see you. I haven't seen you in months.
I know, and it's a pleasure to see you, and I thank you. And an honor to be here, too.
You're welcome. Frontline Foundation, we had you on Christmas night, technically Christmas, day after Christmas. It was the 26th, and we talked for a little over an hour about Frontline, and a lot of response here from people listening, and there are probably thousands of people tonight that weren't fortunate enough to hear that program. So for the next hour plus, I'd like to roll up our sleeves and talk about what the Frontline Foundation is, maybe a little bit about who Ray Castellani is and what you're doing down there, and take some phone calls a little later on in the program. Sound good to you?
That sounds beautiful, Frank. Beautiful, really beautiful.
Frontline Foundation. What is the Frontline Foundation?
Frontline Foundation. I sort of got it down to a one-sentence deal, and it's this. Frontline represents a group of people that serves food to the immediate hungry people on the streets. That's, I mean, if I can condense it into that short of a phrase, I believe that's what it represents most of all, the immediate hunger. I wrote a letter to the mayor. It was, in fact, April the 15th. And in the letter, I put a sentence in there. I said, in order to change, one must live. And in order to live, one must eat. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to curb and however one wants to put it. But I like to say, maybe put a big curve in that hunger thing downtown. And so that's basically what it is. As you know, but as the people that don't know, a group of fantastic volunteers that give of their time, their love, which is probably the largest ingredient that I got going, to this energy and bring it downtown. And I mean, it's really not me. I have to compliment the people that are involved, that give of themselves so freely and untiringly to this serving the immediate hunger, the hungry people.
How did it all come about? I know you told me a story at Christmas time, and I had only known you for a month. I didn't even know you that well. And you told of a very inspiring story that I was motivated to write about in a very good friend of mine's newsletter. And if you don't mind, I'd kind of like you to maybe tell the story briefly, how this whole thing came about.
Well, briefly, I was, as a human being, lost in the path of life, so to speak. And I really didn't know where to go or what to do, and I closed most doors here in Los Angeles as far as connections go. And what I did is I got in my truck and I took a ride up. I started going up north, not knowing what I was doing, pounding my dashboard, saying, "God, what do you want me to do?" I mean, that's the way. This is the words that were coming out. Okay? I'm cleaning all this up, but when I was really angry and pounding this dashboard, and I really didn't know what to do. And I got up, maybe about 500 miles up north, and the thought came in. One of the things I was involved in going to down on Skid Row here before, and I was involved in a few things down there, nothing big, but I had a very big feeling about this Skid Row, and when I was traveling on this road, the idea or the inception came to me of going back to Skid Row, and I just threw the idea out. I said, no, I'm not going down to Skid Row. I mean, I'm just not going to do it. And so I proceeded to go north, and I kept pounding my dashboard, and I kept getting the feeling about going down, back to L.A. So finally, I turned my truck around. I said, well, I'll just go a little ways back, and that's it. And I got outside at Thousand Oaks, and I stayed there, and then I just go downtown, and the idea was to feed a few people, see. And well, I just said no to this, and I kept on saying no. But the more I said no, the more the feeling said to do it. So I rounded up two guys, Fred Perry and Danny Mustard, and sort of guided them into this direction. And we made a trip downtown with, and the keys of this church. I do want to say this: the keys of this church were given to me by a woman by the name of Becky Caldwell. When I told her about this, I thought she'd kick me out, but she just turned over the key to the kitchen. And anyway, to cut a long story short, 111 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were made, a pot of coffee, and that was the beginning. And that was in December of 1987. And my son came in the next week, and he was involved. And since then, it's we have trips down on Tuesday. We have trips down on Wednesday night. This fella, Doug, comes down with me on Wednesday night in a group. You've been down. Noreen Golden, she's a spark plug, and she handles Tuesday pretty good. And the rest of us, I go on Saturday and just with this love and giving, and without asking anything in return. That's
So what started out as 111 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches about a year and a half ago has snowballed into what today?
This Wednesday, I will pass 75,000 people that have been served food in that corner, off the back of my truck, on a street corner. This is not, I have no mission down there. This is on a street corner. This is not, I mean, that is truly a miracle. I mean, I marvel at that.
Did you ever think for a moment when you had this intuitive feeling a year and a half ago to go down there and serve some people that a year and a half later you could say that almost 75,000 people would have been fed on that corner?
Definitely not. No way. I said, well, I'll feed a couple of people there, God, and we'll go from there. No way. I mean, I wasn't even, it was not in the ballpark. I mean, I wasn't even there. No.
How do you account for that?
Well,
you think maybe you have a little help?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, first of all, everything that is done in this whole thing is dictated by I'm going to say it right loud and clear, a power greater than myself, if you want to call it God, fine. But that's the way it is. There is nothing that I have done here that has come from my own head. I mean, it just not. The people that are involved. I mean, there are groups on Friday morning that come in and help. The groups on Wednesday. My God, and now looking for a new facility. The federal government is now looking for a place on their property out at Sepulveda. I mean, it's all being directed, and we're just following, and to keep it clean. That's my primary purpose right now for my own self, is just to keep this organization clean. Just to, what comes in goes out. What comes in goes out. It goes to the streets. No questions. Give it away.
When you say what comes in, all your food is donated?
The food, everything. It's all by donations, Frank. Everything.
So you don't have some big gig in the city?
No. Frank, I come in sometimes with 11. In the past year, I've had sometimes $11 to start the week with. I've had $12. I've been down to 80 sometimes. I mean, not just 1 week, but week after week sometimes. It's been that low. And yet 1,400 or 1,300 people have been fed. Now that's an unexplainable thing. I can't explain it, so it's a miracle for me. A guy will come in with $20, $100, or and I'm able to buy the food for the week. I go down and I can't buy 4 juices. I've got to buy only 3 this week. So I'm talking $4.50, the difference. But that's where it's been. People now are beginning to, I'm getting more help. I'm trying to set up, things where one item, like soup is a big item downtown, where one organization, just one item will give to me. I don't want vegetable soup. I just want chicken noodle soup, see? So that's how it's working.
Skid Row is not the best of areas. I told a story at Christmas about how I went down Thanksgiving, not really knowing why I went down there, asking myself many questions. Am I nuts? Why am I doing this? This is a dangerous area. It's a volatile area down there. Skid Row is not exactly for everyone. And I met you in a series of interesting coincidences, and I found myself a month or so later down there on the front line with you, helping out, which to me, it's been one of the most transformational experiences I've ever been through. It was just miraculous, the healing that was going on in the corner. Why Skid Row, of all places? And let me ask kind of a second part of that question. Starting this thing a year and a half ago, you had to run into some problems. And I would think that you still have problems now.
Well, many. Frank, when you mention tonight, it's weird. When you mentioned Skid Row, I'm just there. My heart just sort of went, yeah, I'm really there. Tonight I feel very vulnerable. I feel very open. I feel like I want to cry, really. But Skid Row is where I'm needed. I'm not needed anyplace else. I'm really not. I am not needed anyplace else. I am needed in this area because I understand. I understand the people. And above all, I love these people. I am with them. They are with me. They are in my heart. They're in my soul. I feel very strongly. It's not a crusade. It's nothing like that. It's just I'm a guy that I care about a group of people, and this is where I was directed to. And I do not suggest it for anybody to go down there. This is not a playground down there by any stretch of the imagination. It is volatile. I believe, and I've gone down there many a time by myself. This can be verified out by anybody that knows me, by you. You've been down at nighttime with me, by myself. To let them know, to let them understand me, to let them know that there's somebody out there that's trying to help them in some way. Even if it's like this guy, Doug, he's a beautiful guy, he comes down there on Wednesday night. But just taking the edge off, taking a little bit of the edge off a day, a few moments for him, giving him a little dignity for a few minutes. I mean, God, what's wrong with giving our fellow man a little dignity, a little love, a little caring? And that's what I care about. That's what I am. That's what I stand for, me, Ray. And I don't want to dirty it up. I don't want anybody else to dirty it up. And I don't get paid. I don't want any money because that's where my strength comes in too. Nobody can buy me. They can't sell me. They can't do anything to me because they can't fire me. They can't do anything to me. I'm just going to give love. And so I'm very I mean, I feel when you ask that question, I have great emotional feelings about Skid Row. Skid Row to me, and the danger and the broken souls, the broken hearts, the broken minds. My God, let them be what they are. If they want to take shots at me, fine. I can handle it. I can. I'm as hard as some of them are. I mean, that's the way it is. But it's I mean, I stand up for what I believe in. I've learned from them. They must learn from me. We must learn from each other. I mean, it's not a. I mean, I've spent my time in the classroom down there. Let me tell you.
Let me reintroduce you. This is Ray Castellani from the Frontline Foundation, and we're going to open the phone lines in about 15 minutes or so. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to call on up in about all of a few moments or so. Ray, there's still a large degree, at least from my perception, of ignorance and insensitivity toward the homeless people in this country. There are a lot of people that believe they're lazy. They're there because they want to be there. They are an element of society that's an embarrassment. How do you see the homeless people?
You have to remember that I'm dealing with the homeless in an area, a specific area. And this specific area is the area of Skid Row. Now, that's not like the homeless in Santa Monica. Although they may look alike, but it's a different clientele. The homeless, or the specific area that I'm working in, is the helpless, homeless human being in an area of town that's the end of the line. It's the end. When you're in Santa Monica, you still got 5th and San Pedro. When you're in the valley, you still got 5th and San Pedro. But when you're at 5th and San Pedro, there's no other street. You're it. And it's the end of the line. The mind keeps people wherever they are. I don't care who it is. They keep an architect being an architect. But the mind of a broken soul, of a broken body, of a broken spirit, is what I'm talking about. And I can't say that broken spirit, oh, hey, you can get up there if you want to. Well, that's great for the guy that's not got the broken spirit. But the one with the broken spirit, no way, no way. Now, some of them, yes. Some of them, yes. But the majority are 80% or 60. I don't care what percent. What if it's 1%? 1% of 10,000. 1% is a lot of people. That if you give, just helping them a little bit, what's wrong with that? You see, and people, I hear that sometimes. People say, well, they can get out of there if they want to. My God, you know. I mean, if a person gets burned and is scarred deep, I say, well, you know, you can go get some plastic surgery if you want to, but the scar runs deep, the pain, the agony. I mean, it's not just a question of these people. Some of these people can't. They can't walk. To get out of there is only a little walk. It's not a big walk, but they can't reach it. The energy level is so low. The hopelessness. Why? And that's all I'm addressing. I'm not addressing the ones that can make it out. You know, I'm not addressing those people. I'm addressing the ones that can. So if I feed a few people that can make it out, what am I going to do? Starts, well, you can have it, you can't, you can have it. I mean, it gets to be a crazy thing. I mean, I just want to help a few people. If the United States, if America, if people can't help people, then what have we come to? You know, if they were dogs down there, oh, I hate to say that. I shouldn't say that. I better not. But if there was fish there or something, everybody would be talking about save those fish. We saved whales up in Alaska, whatever it was, 3 whales. I wanted to save those whales, but now we're talking about human beings. We're talking about God's kids too, and it's just help them. We're not saying change them, help them. I don't want to change anybody, but God, if somebody doesn't care about them, then you know, and we just sit around, everybody talks about it. It just loses it. It loses it for me. It loses my faith in mankind. I mean, we're talking about humanity. I'm not playing. I'm not playing down there. I don't want to have a mission. I don't want to change these people. They're people, they're human beings, they have dignity. And, you know, that's where they live. So they can't eat, you know, they maybe eat out of garbage cans but maybe they can have a meal once a day or something like that, you know. Just helping them along. Maybe some of them make it out, maybe some of them won't, but most of them will die there. Anyway, I get, it's a very, you know, it's a passionate subject with me. I mean, just care a little bit. I'm not asking anybody to change. I'll just take care of them. I'll take care of them. I just need the wherewithal and the facilities. Now, I don't want any building, but a facility to take care of, just to feed these people. That's all. I'm just saying, feed them. Then let somebody, the organizations that they're paying billions of dollars to do, let them take over, but they got to stay alive. Ooh, that's a dig.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. Let me ask you a couple more questions, then we're going to make a bill here and open the phone lines. There's so much I want to ask you, but I want to give our listeners a chance to ask you some questions as well. You need help. You've made it clear that this isn't like funded by the government, or you don't have a big job in the city where all of this money goes to the homeless. This is all nonprofit. This is all donations. I've met some of the most loving and incredible people by going down and helping out a few times. The people that go down there and volunteer and help you. The food is donated. What do you need ideally right now along the lines of food, or can someone maybe come down and give you a hand if they're interested in donating some time?
Anybody. This is open to the world. Anybody can help me, can be involved with me anytime. We're in the process, hopefully, of getting a new place where we will originate from on our own kitchen, our own facility to make our sandwiches and to do our little cooking, which we have a little bit to do, and the preparing. And once I have that, right now we're at the Methodist Church in Sherman Oaks, and what we need, hopefully the government, this place is going to come through. I think it is, and then after that, I need food. I need specific food,
such as
like chicken noodle soup. I know that sounds funny, but they love soup downtown. Chicken noodle soup. I need vegetable soup. You hear these things, but you see, I don't need cream of chicken noodle soup.
Right.
See, that's where it gets mixed up, Frank, because sometimes an organization, they mean well, and they'll give me vegetables and this. Well, I can't use that because I'm not dealing with a guy that's going to take something home with him. I'm dealing with a guy in the street that's going to have a cup of soup and then go to someplace else maybe, or go under a carton box to stay out of the rain, or build a fire to keep warm. So there are specific needs. Light chunk tuna, see, and there are items. I don't want to, I could mention, but there are specific things: creamy peanut butter, jam, cocoa. These are I use all the time. But then again, if I get the other items, it's of no use to me, and I waste that energy, that time, because, and it's a great thrill for these people to get. See, I want to get people involved. Corporations and all that. That's great. That's great. I don't want corporations. I really don't. I want people. That's what I want. I want people to go to the shelf and say, I'm picking a small can of noodle soup or there, and say, I'm giving this to Ray, to Frontline, and it's going downtown. Now that's simple, and I don't want. You see, if the big companies donate to me, they say, well, we're donating to Frontline Foundation, and we're going to give them 500 cans of soup or 1,000 cans of soup. But can you imagine if I had 10,000 people giving me one can of soup? I beat the corporations. Or 10,000 people giving me tuna fish. I've got enough tuna fish or 10,000 people giving me cans of cocoa, or 10,000. I have. Do you understand what I mean?
Sure. What you're saying is there's something very special about human beings.
Right.
Especially when giving comes from love and compassion. There's a certain energy that goes with that.
Right. Yeah. That's it. And that's the key for that human being to go to the store and pick out that food and say, here. And then knowing that that food is going downtown to hungry hands. And that's when people get involved. You see, everybody waits for somebody else. Well, this corporation do it. Man, I did it with nothing. Nobody said, Ray, here's 50,000 cans of tuna fish. Now you can go to town. No, it was a struggle. And I struggled many days. I haven't slept in almost, I really haven't slept in probably the better part of 2 years now, or it's a year and a half anyway. Waking up, wondering the multitude of problems that this is, going on in my head. And worrying about whether am I going to have enough. I mean, I don't have the faith that I'm supposed to have. I'll be the first to admit it. I don't. I keep doing what he wants me to do, but sometimes he
tests you.
Yeah, he tests me. I like to test him once in a while, too.
I think we all would from time to time. Why don't you give out a phone number if someone would like to contact you to get information, to donate some time, to donate food, to just make a donation. Give a phone number right now where you can be contacted, or someone in Frontline.
The area code, and Noreen will call you back. The telephone number is 818-345-8946. And like I said, there'll be a little, if I'm not there, what this is, I'll tell you what it is. We don't even have an office. What it is a garage, and there's an answering machine there, and there's a telephone there, and that's what answers. If I'm there, fine. But if I'm not there, you get this little machine. We have no offices. I don't have any offices. I don't have any nothing. Everything goes right downtown. I mean, but Noreen will call you back because I haven't even got the time to rest my eyes anymore.
Well, hopefully we have some compassionate listeners out there that might want to jump in and give you a hand. And let's pay a commercial, and we'll be back with more of Impact on KLOS.
Walter Notso here at a birthday celebration in Wilbur Springs with continuing coverage of the unexplainable occurrences reported.
Orange County area, 714 area code. The number there is 977 KLOS. In the 805 area code, 629 KLOS. And in the 619 area, 570-1556. Anything at all, questions or comments for my guest, Ray Castellani, and we'll see what we can do about getting you on the air. You'll talk to our program coordinator tonight, Larry Webb, who's sitting in for Jeff McMurray. Larry's a real nice guy, and he'll get you ready to go on the air. We're going to take some phone calls in a few moments. A couple other quick questions. On the break, we were just talking briefly in all of the 50 seconds that we had about ways in which I'm compelled to help you. When I met you, Ray, there was just something about you that I couldn't put a finger on. And in the 9 months since I've known you, and I haven't seen you in about 3 or 4 months or so, you are walking to a certain voice, let's say. I talk a lot about on the program, to be alive is to give. That's part of the reason why we're here. We weren't put on God's planet here to sit, watch TV, and veg out and cuss at everybody and cause problems. We're here to help each other. The Frontline Foundation is something that you've admitted on the air really didn't know where it was going to go.
Right.
Knowing what you know now, do you have any hopes or aspirations for eventually where it might go? What I'm going to ask you in another way is, are you just doing this day to day?
Yeah, I really do think that. See, I don't have any overall. I don't have any overall goal, but the goal is, if I would say that, or if in the future, is just things to be easier for Frontline to serve what has been started now. To be able to. The Maison Corporation gives us $400 a month. They have, they're beautiful. They took a chance on me last year when they didn't even know me. But to be able to keep it clean, like it is right now, and giving with love and dignity, and to be able to have the wherewithal to keep it that way, that I guess is, you might say, is a goal. What's doing right now is fine. I mean, it's fine. It could be doubled, it could be tripled, it could be quadrupled. I mean, with the right facility. I can't do it now, and I'm one man that unless somebody wants to devote their whole time to this, but which is a tremendous energy drain. I mean, you know, everybody wants to do what they want to do in life, and I understand that. You know, there's millions of people. There's a one man want to devote the rest of his life, or 2 years of his life, to doing what I'm doing right now. You know, I'll take him. Bring him in right now. You know.
Do you know something that other people don't know? There seems to be a formula here. I mean, to suggest that some guy driving in a truck decides or has a calling to go down and feed people in Skid Row with no money in his pocket, and the next thing you know, a year and a half later, 75,000 people. I mean, even though I know you, there's still something very mystical about what goes on down there. It's
and I really don't. I don't question it. I have no question. I have no questions in life. I don't have any questions. I just don't. I have total trust that this entity, whatever it is working through me to what I'm doing right now, and that's it. And I can't change it. The people that come in contact with me, I say just love, just love. I mean, you know, the beautiful people that are working alongside of me, you know, they would pick up this energy of love. And when someone comes in without that energy of love, I know it right away. I mean, I know it right away. And, you know, I went, see, it bothers me. It rubs me. I don't say anything. It's not my job to correct everybody. I don't have to correct everybody. But I feel it, and it hurts me deeply. You know, I just want to do what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing, and I just want to do it and give, and that's it. So it's love.
just love, huh?
That's it.
I think we'd be a heck of a lot better off in the world if just we're so afraid though, Ray. You know, I can cop to it. You know, I talk on the program from time to time about you come in contact with people at the grocery market or at the gas station, and I'm the type where I'll say hi if I get eye contact, but everybody's so afraid of each other.
Totally.
Why? What are we afraid of?
Well, you see a lot of people now. I mean, so many people are locked into their own to their own houses. I mean, with the alarms and with the gates, with the dogs, with the thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. But you see, if love permeates and giving permeates, and faith is prevalent, there's no reason for anything else. It just works. Period. And if it works downtown, it'll work any place. You know, because if love is not strong enough to conquer anything like hate and wars, then what are we talking about? I mean, if I care for my fellow man, if I care for my and truly care without asking anything in return, I can't lose, can I? I really can't lose, because you see, I don't want anything. But as soon as I want something, if I want a good feeling, if I want to make a name for myself, if I want money, if I want property, if I want prestige, anything I want, I'm going to be a loser, because I'm going to be a taker. And all takers are losers, you know. I didn't think that one up. That came from a guy by the name of Norman Alfie.
Yeah, I heard that. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, KLOS Los Angeles. You want to take some phone calls?
How do I do this?
Just put those on, and there's a volume control at the base of it if you can't hear.
I can hear you.
You can hear me? That's all you need to know. Let's take some calls. Let's talk to Russell. Good morning, Russell. You're on the Impact program on KLOS.
How's it going, Frank?
Good.
I'd like to say hello to Ray, and that he really inspired me last time he called, and I really put some thought into this, but he actually got nailed down some specifics. I'd like to ask him a few questions about particular items that he's asked.
Sure, go ahead.
Number one, the cocoa. Does it seem to be like the instant cocoa, or is it what I like to call the real cocoa with milk, the Hershey or whatever type?
It's the instant cocoa mixed with water. I don't have milk, so it's the cocoa mixed with water.
Okay, bread. What about bread?
No bread. I have B's Bakery that gives me the finest bread, and the Swiss Bakery that gives me the finest bread.
The good stuff, huh?
The good stuff. They get nothing but the best, let me tell you.
What about, like, chili?
No.
No chili, huh?
No. See, that's Russell, that's where it comes into specifics. In other words, So go ahead, ask another one.
Okay, let me check that. What about meat?
No.
No?
No, you see, I have to get that. I'm very careful with what I get. I do bring bologna down. But if you ever want to buy any meat, you have to get a group of people, and they have to, like, donate $53, and I can buy 36 pounds of bologna that I bring down. So, but I have to get that because I want to make sure that the meat is perfect and fresh.
Jam, what flavor?
Any. They love jam.
I'll tell you
Anything
what,
that's sweet.
Russell, why don't you call Ray at the phone number, and he can give you specifics. I'm very pleased to say we have a lot of phone calls to get to. And if you have any other question or comment you'd like to run by Ray, I'd like you to do so right now.
Okay, what about clothes?
No.
No?
No clothes.
Hygiene?
No.
No?
Just food.
Okay.
Just food.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay,
Right.
Russell, take care. Food and donations if somebody wants to
donation.
drop
Yeah,
off
well-
a few bucks.
Oh, yeah. That's no problem. Tax deductible to Frontline Foundation.
James, good morning. You're on the Impact program on KLOS.
Hello, Frank. Hello, Ray.
Hi.
Hi. Last time you were on the show, you told a story about how you were making food at the church, and everyone was real hostile, and you got down to the location where you were handing it out, and nobody would take it. Last time I heard that story, it really empowered me and made me do other things, but a friend of mine who's listening right now wanted to hear that story from your words. Do you remember the story?
Your name is
James?
James. What was the story
You were making food, and there was like arguments and real tension when you were making it, and people wouldn't eat it when you got to hand it out.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, yeah, we were making, yes, right. There was some individual that was making some sandwiches that had this aura of the I don't want to say attitude, but it was an attitude. It was not a pleasant attitude, and those sandwiches that were made that were brought downtown, made by that individual, they came back to me, and I couldn't understand what it was. And I said, my God, this is strange, because they're hungry, and yet they kept coming back. There weren't that many, but about 30 of them, but about 15 or 20 of them came back, and I realized then that they must be made with love. That, in other words, pointed out again to me again that if a person comes in there with a I don't want to say hostile attitude, but an attitude of indifference, an attitude of disruption, an attitude of not caring, an attitude of I know all the answers, then it went right through to the sandwiches and back downtown again, and it came back, and I realized that then. So whenever I see anybody that no, this is not what it's about. It's about love, and I must put love in those sandwiches to bring downtown, and that because that area is so volatile and so hostile and so angry. I want to bring love there, not hostility or anything.
So they can feel the love in the sandwiches.
I know it sounds crazy. I know it does, but it's true.
I just want to reflect that I try doing that when I give things. I try to give them for very unselfish reasons and try to not attach any personal gain towards them. Give them just to give them.
Good.
And they're just, it's the energy is like multiplied, and I thank you for that story because it helped me.
Beautiful, thank you. And just give. Don't even, just give.
Thank you, James. Give, huh?
That's the name of it.
That's right. Mike, good morning. You're on the Impact program with my guest, Ray Castellani.
Yeah, how you doing? Ray, first I'd like to say, really respect you for what you're doing. It's really incredible, the energy that you give out.
Thank you, Mike.
You put into it. And really brings something personal to me. Back in 1985, my dad, he'd, pretty much disappeared for a few years from our family. And they found him down in Santa Ana. He had died on the streets. And I'd like to make the point that a lot of people might be missing out there is that, these people have families. They're not just your everyday bum. They're not, he was going from, a $50,000 a year job to ended up, dying in the streets, which is really a tragedy, And I just like to say to people listening out there that, don't think of these people as just a waste because, one of these guys was my dad. And for the next time you walk by and spit on and laugh at him, think back, that might be someone from way back. But these people need a lot more respect and a lot of help, that they're good people,
I love you.
Seriously, I just really like to say that. Thank you for what you're doing. I just hope you can keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you for your story.
Thank you, Mike.
Sure. Bye.
They're human beings.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, honesty here on the air, I like to do. That's part of why to do the program, I guess. Years ago, you didn't really see that many homeless in certain, shall we say, dignified areas of maybe the valley, for instance. And now you're seeing a lot. And now, partially through my own experience, partially through going down and helping out with Frontline, when I see somebody, I know the best thing that I can give them on the spot is a few kind words or some conversation. Not feeling guilty and giving them a few bucks or saying, you know, what's the deal? Just giving them some unconditional time.
Correct.
You know?
That's it. I mean, it's again that giving for the sake of giving and asking nothing in return. I mean, if mankind could do that, our world would be a better place. I mean, period. That's it. But it's not that way. It is not that way. That's the truth. It's not that way. There's a lot of people that do that, Frank. I mean, you know, I'm not good at this, so you know, I'm not the example, but I do have examples that people are very good at giving. But that few moments out may, you know, just to say, he may reflect upon that the rest of the day and then may pick that up to something else. And at least you were kind to a human being. And maybe he'll be kind to another guy down the street away. You don't know. I don't know either.
Jack, good morning. You're on the Impact Program.
How you doing, Frank?
Good.
How you doing, Ray?
Hi, Jack.
First time caller. I listen to the program quite a bit. I have a question for you, Ray. On the I've called the answering machine and left my number and things like that for you. I'd like to help you, you know, to volunteer some time, that type of thing, food. But I'm wondering if you've heard of the program called Life, or an organization called Life. Are you guys linked up with them, or have you ever thought about forming one?
No. Jack?
Yeah.
Jack? Yeah, Jack. See, this is where I have to deal. I have to deal with the immediate hunger. Life is a beautiful organization. I don't want to, you know, say anything about any of these organizations. They do their job. I have to see if Life comes to me and says, Ray, I've got 20 pounds of coffee for you. That's what I need. I don't need to fill out applications, you know, to figure out how I'm going to get things. I don't have time for that. These people on the street are hungry. On Tuesday, they're going to be hungry when I go down. They'd be hungry tonight or tomorrow morning when I go down. So I go through too many organizations. That's why I have to go to the people. It's been shown to me I must go to the people. I don't want to go to organizations. I want the people. I want the people to care about the people. I want them to say, yeah, I got a deal that I can express myself with. But if I go to organizations, again, we're letting Life do the job. We're not letting people, and they drop the stuff off, and you know, you got to pay a little fee to join the club or something. And I'm not in the clubs. I mean, we got enough clubs. We got enough organizations. You know, I just want to feed the people.
I see. So if I wanted to bring some food to you,
now you got it.
I'd bring it downtown, or what?
No. You call me up on the telephone, and you can drop it off at the church. You know, we'll tell you where to drop it off if you've got food for me.
I live in Santa Monica, and a lot of times there are people in the area that are hungry, and there's just like things like Claire, and there's the Palisades Park where they feed, and they have to have, you know, you can eat and that type of thing. But do you have a church? Is your church around this area, or?
Well, it's not my church. It's just where I make the sandwiches. No, it's not in Santa Monica.
Okay, but okay, that's fine. Yeah, well, I mean,
it's in the valley, and if you want to give Ray a call, or I think you said you did give him a call already.
I did. That's the answering machine.
Okay,
someone will get back to you with some more information, either Noreen or someone.
Yeah, Noreen will, you know, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack?
I want to thank you, and Frank, for your program, and Ray, for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And I want to let you know that if you know, give me a call.
Okay.
Thanks.
You call me, Jack.
I did call.
Okay, call again if I don't get back to you.
Thanks, Jack. Nick, good morning. You're on the Impact Program.
Yeah, how you doing, Ray?
How you doing, Nick?
Pretty good. I delivered down there in the Garment District off of close to 6th and Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing a homeless person behind a trash can one time, and I was kind of afraid, so I rolled up all the windows and locked my doors.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked down at my sandwich in my bag. He was mouthing some type of word to me. I don't know what he was saying, whether he couldn't talk or he didn't have the energy to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But I reached out and gave him that sandwich. And
Beautiful.
it was a good feeling,
Mm-hmm.
a really good feeling. I mean, whoa, I can't really describe the feeling it was. And I'd like to ask how I could help out or volunteer.
Well, you have that number,
Okay.
the 818-345-8946.
I feel like you get out of giving to somebody, like he couldn't even talk. Whether he couldn't talk or had the energy to talk, I don't know, but it was a great feeling.
Also, just come down to Fifth and San Pedro on a Saturday morning. You know, if you work down there, and just come over and ask for Ray and say you're Nick and Nick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just say that you know I called you, and you know you're welcome.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ray. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nick. Humanity is wonderful. We're all wonderful. A lot of us don't know it. A lot of us really want to give, but we talked about fear a little earlier. You know, most of us are afraid to. You know, there's this element out there that, you know, they're the bad guys or the enemy or the crazy or the murderers or whatever. And doing shows like this and watching the phones light up and people calling up and saying, you know, how can I help? What do you need? What can I do? I mean, it almost reinstills my faith in humanity. We got a chance, don't we? We got a chance of pulling this mess out.
Right. See, most people don't. I believe most people don't want to help, but they don't have an outlet to help. See, when you talk about other organizations, you know, well, how I want to get involved. See, people. That's why I say I don't want corporations. You know, again, it's letting Big Brother do the work for you. I want them out in the streets with me. You know, that's what this is all about. And I want them buying the little food or sending somebody down the streets gave me 22 cents. I put that in the books. Wow. You know, wow. So they do care. People care. There are a lot of people that care. It's just they don't have the vehicle. They don't have the guy that says, okay, come on. I have this gal Carol Harrington that comes on Friday with this girl Jane and Doris, and they come and they do these things and they workshop for 2 hours. But boy, do they do a deal. Do they do a deal? Just giving for the purity of giving, you see. And guys that pick up the breads and I mean, it's, you know, everybody wants it and they get this good feeling, you see. And I'm trying to, it's hard to change the people, but it's beginning, you know. And like he said, he gave the sandwich away. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Let's take a couple more and we'll wrap it up. Dan, good morning. You are on the Impact program with Ray Castellani from the Frontline Foundation.
Good morning, Ray.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Oh, I'm doing okay. A couple of things I wanted to tell you. You were talking about fear a little while ago. I did, you know, I live in a nice neighborhood. I'm an ex-investigator. And I did pick up a family one time. I was wondering if you have seen these people out there that hold up signs, "Will work for food."
Yeah, I've seen them.
Okay, well, I picked up a family one time. This is a nice-looking, you know, Spanish-looking guy out there, and he had a pickup truck, so I brought him back to my house and had him do some chores for me, and I paid him about $25. And the next time I came back home, my house was ripped.
Yeah.
They took, you know, quite a nice set of things.
Yeah.
Next time around was just a single guy, and the same thing happened. So I've been up in L.A. a lot. I've been in Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, and I have given out a lot of cash. But what I'm interested in is your organization, and I would like to, I'm in a good position to send, you know, a lot of food. I heard you mention earlier,
right.
You know, chicken soup and
right.
all the canned goods, and I can do that for you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Don't.
What I can do is get, you know, I have to remain totally anonymous here.
Yeah.
I would like to get an address where I can ship something to you.
Okay, before we give that, do you want to respond, have a little comments to what happened?
I just want to say, do not bring anybody home. Do not bring anybody home. Especially when you're picking them up off the streets. It's just not a good policy under any circumstances. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't help them out. You can go bring them to the store, give them $25 if you want to, but in circumstances, ever again, bring anybody home. One of the big things that I have going for me is that I'm pretty hep to the streets, and I knew right away when you started talking.
So did I.
You know, yeah, you knew it too, Frank. Yeah, that you're in trouble here, and you know, you're very, very careful. Do not bring anybody home. Period. And that's just a rule of thumb, and especially if you're not acclimated to the street people, because they are fast, swift. And can out-talk you and can out-snooker you in any way possible. So you got to be really careful.
And as far as information, did you get the phone number, Dan?
Yes, I did.
Just give Ray a call and someone will get back to you with more specifics on how you can...
Yeah, the address.
And the address, yeah. You want to give the address now?
P.O. Box 303, Tarzana, 91357.
So P.O. Box 303, Tarzana 91357, Frontline Foundation.
Frontline Foundation, right.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Dan.
Have a good morning, Ray.
Thank you, Dan.
Take care. I think we got trouble on the screen here. Looks like Dean. Good morning, Dean. You're on KLOS with Ray Castellani.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
I know this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Brother Ray.
Hi, Brother Dean. How you doing, brother?
I'm okay.
Oh, my God. Here's another worker. This one, Frank, this guy, some kind of worker for Frontline. I mean, he does a bang-up job.
What are you up to, Dean?
I just, I wanted to call and to tell the people that are listening that, I went down for the first time a little over 7 months ago. And, we have just grown tremendously in the last 7 months. And when we go down there with our trucks loaded up and we pull around the corner and every week we pull around that corner and that line's there and it's wrapped around the corner and those people know that we're going to be there. And you get so pumped up. It's like the most incredible thing, You can't even describe it. Words cannot describe the feeling you get when you see those people standing there and they pull up and man, I pull up and I get out of my truck and these people come up and hug me, and I missed one Saturday, just one, and they missed me, and it's just a great thing. And I got to tell these people that are listening to come down because you won't experience nothing like it ever. And I love you, Ray.
I love you too, Dan. I love you. God bless you.
Frank, we miss you.
Yeah, I miss you guys and gals a lot, let me tell you. But I'm there in spirit. Whenever I can't make it down, I'm there in spirit for you.
All righty, Frank.
And I love you, Dean.
Ray, you drive careful and get home and go to bed.
Okay, brother.
Okay. Bye.
We have another Frank with down there with us, Frank and Agnes, and he's a big guy, and he was.
Oh yeah,
but,
sure.
Big Frank, and he just like a big kid down there, with this, like what Dean was saying, he just loves them, and he doesn't quite know how to handle things, but he just gives his love out, and he's changed in everybody seems to be changing into some kind of. It's a beautiful thing to see.
I'll tell you, just in the little bit of time that I went down and donated, the people that you've created in Frontline Foundation that come down and volunteer are the most wonderful people I've ever met. It's almost like it's a family.
Yeah, it's a big family now.
Hopefully getting bigger all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
More love. I can't have enough love. There's this gal, Joanne, I was telling her, I said, I just want you to come, just be there with the love that you got, and that energy of love, I just need it so badly, and it's and I need it too. I mean, I do, because I have to do so much, and with that, I can keep going when I have that energy of love, because when I don't, and that despondency just tires me so much, and it's tough.
Let's take one more phone call, and before we do, I want to ask you one more question. People on the street get a reputation for being dumb. Now, it's been my experience that they're the other way around. These people are smart.
Right.
You want to elaborate a little on it?
They have survived, Frank. These people are true survivors. They are very quick. Their minds are very quick. They're restricted. Remember, they're restricted because they can't get out of where they're at. But they're so quick to survive that moment. They live from moment to moment, not from day to day. They go really from moment to moment, and they're very quick. And they have all these barriers around them, you see. But there are truly survivors, and they're not dumb. They're not dumb by any stretch of the imagination.
They taught me more in the little bit of time going down there. I mean, I thought I knew what was going on in life, and as you commented earlier, these people really teach you.
Right. Oh yeah. It's a learning process from both sides. I mean, I must, like I said, I have to learn. I must learn my lessons, but also now they have to learn a few from me too.
Let's talk to Rod. Rod, good morning. You're on the Impact program here on KLOS.
Hi, Ray. Can you hear me okay?
I can, Rod.
Yeah, I just came down from Santa Cruz where I go to school, and up there there's a group of people who give out food every afternoon in the downtown area. And they've taken a lot of flack from the city government over what they're doing just because they don't do it on an official level. They just show up every day and give out food. And I was wondering if either you or the Frontline organization has had similar problems with either the city or the county government around here.
Rod, on Saturday morning, there's over 1,000 people sometimes on that corner at 5th and San Pedro. They'd have to, right now, bring in the Army there to break us off. I am totally a legal organization. All my papers are totally in order. I'm not doing anything underhandedly. If they have a problem, or the city has a problem, then I beg the city then to give me a place where I won't have a problem. I am not afraid to face that kind of a problem. And then there again, I want the people to know that. And I would be calling Frank Sontag up on his program and saying, I need help, and I'd have everybody, because give me a place then where I can do it freely. Give me a place where I can do it freely. If the city of Los Angeles doesn't want me to do it at 5th and San Pedro, give me a place. And I would say that with all the power and strength I got in me. People still have to be served food. And if they say you can't do it here, then give me a place. That's what I would do.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, Rod, take care. Well, Mickey on the wall says we're going to wrap it up here. Man, it was a real pleasure seeing you. I'm a little depressed, actually, because it's over now. I've been looking forward to this all week.
It was
and,
beautiful.
As time is, it goes by so fast. But I want to thank you for coming down, and continued good luck. The number again, the Frontline Foundation, if you would just like to get some information. You don't even necessarily have to donate anything. Just find out where they're at and just go down and observe. Is area code 818-345-8946. If you'd like to drop them a line, P.O. Box 303, Tarzana 91357. As always, the information will be in the switchboard here at KLOS. Well, what would you like to say in closing, Ray? Anything?
Frank, I just want to thank you, and I really want to take this moment to thank everybody that's involved with Frontline Foundation. I want to thank each and every individual that has helped me to make this possible, because it has been an untiring group of people that has made all this possible. And so this is where it's not me, it's the people that have helped. The people like you, Frank, and the myriad of people that have helped, because it's no longer my deal. I can go to another corner with a few sandwiches, and that's cool, but this is the people's now. It's not mine anymore. It belongs to everybody that's lifted a sandwich wrap. We've got guys in here. There's David Teachin and Jack Loops, who come in that kitchen 6 o'clock in the morning making sandwiches, and that's all they do. They make sandwiches and they go home. I mean, so it's not just. And these are the unsung heroes. I'm sitting here in front of you, but these are the unsung heroes, and it's to these people that that my son, again, my daughter now is involved. These are the people that deserve the thanks, not me. And so I thank them, and I thank you for your kindness and your love and your caring, and I also want to thank the thousands of people downtown that have made all this possible too, because they accepted with love what we have, and it's going around now. We're in a circle, and I want to thank every listener here that has one beautiful thought for serving food to these people. And if you just give me your thought, that's good enough too. So,
good deal. Thanks, Ray.
And I want to thank God too.
Me too. We'll have more on KLOS. Stick around.